Hi everyone, my name is Nate Sheets with Oregon Behavior Consultation, and I just wanted to talk really quick about the concept of unreasonable expectations. When I work with people with fetal alcohol spectrum disorders or really any other kind of developmental disability, one of the things we have to be looking out for is having unreasonable expectations on our client or our child. And what I mean by unreasonable expectations for the most part is when we are expecting them to perform something that uses cognitive skills that, at least in that moment, they don't have. For example, if someone has ADHD and we expect them to sit down for 2 hours and focus, that would be an unreasonable expectation. And that expectation is going to be likely to start some kind of challenging behavior such as escalation, frustration, or being discouraged. With fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, things can get tricky because sometimes a person is able to perform a skill, but then hours or days later, they can't perform the skill. So sometimes parents get frustrated because it's hard to tell if the person is just trying to get out of doing something versus having a legitimate skill. I try to assume the best and ask myself, when a client is struggling, is there some kind of cognitive skill deficit happening here? If you need a list of skills to reference and to kind of get to understand, to know where your child performs and what your current expectations are, you can go to our website at organbehavior.com and we'll have a skills list there for you. We'll also have a link in the description of this video. So the best way we can try to avoid a cognitive skill clash, that is an unreasonable expectation, is to try and think ahead and figure out what cognitive skills are needed for a certain activity. For example, if we have children who are doing well at school and not so well at home, there could be a transition issue there. Or they may not have as much structure at home, and so we can focus on enhancing that skill or supporting them. So for example, if the issue is a transition, we can work with them proactively to come up with a transition from school to home that works for them. And we can also be aware of what we're expecting them to do as soon as they get home. If they've spent all day at school focusing their attention, transitioning, regulating their emotions, using their social skills, they have virtually no executive functioning fuel left. And so what we want to do is transition them home, give them time to replenish some of that fuel, and then we can start having some expectations. And of course, the more we work with the person directly on coming up with this plan, the better. If the issue is structure, then again, we can proactively work with the person to come up with an after-school structure that will work for them so that they can know what to expect. When people know what to expect, it's a natural anxiety reducer. And when we have some kind of structure or routine in place, especially for children, they know what's coming next as well as what our expectations are of them. We're going to continue in future videos to talk about specific strategies you can do for specific cognitive skill deficits. Stay tuned.